Hypothetical space war thread. Way in the future, how do you think space warfare will be fought? Same as now, missiles and drone spam. Maybe energy weapons by then. Applying modern analogs, I think, would be like a fusion of air combat and naval combat. Since there's no air resistance in space, the ships can look like anything, but they'd probably be angular with flat surfaces, like modern stealth ships to deflect radar beams. Conversely, they'd have massive radars, not only because space is a vast medium, but also to detect and avoid asteroid fields. In that same vein, I think the ships will also be pointed like spears to deflect oncoming asteroids. As for armament, large radar-guided missiles will be launched from ship to ship, similarly to modern AA-BVR combat, but the ships will be able to shoot down each other's missiles. Railguns would also be used, running off massive nuclear reactors which run the ship's electronics. There'll be no space fighters and no space dogfighting like in Star Wars. Since there's no air resistance, missiles will be able to pull infinite Gs and they'll just destroy any manned aircraft. Most likely, if aircraft are launched from ships, they'll be like AWACS with radars that serve to extend the radar range of the mothership/fleet. Stealth? Deflect radar beams? Utterly useless. There's no stealth in space. You will radiate enough heat to be visible from halfway across the solar system on thermals, or you will cook yourself in short order. Couldn't they just assume you were a star or something? And how many stars are moving across the solar system? Battle space choke to fuck with every kind of interference possible to make up for how easy it is to identify objects in space. Ultra long shit matched with heavy point defense capabilities and short-range shit, all moving at retarded velocities to try and make up for the easy identification of projectiles and time to avoid ships would have. And lasers, because lasers are fast. TLDR, visibility, interference, and speed weed are gonna be big. Star Wars kind of got it right. Flood space with space drones. Fuck you, we'll be doing drone warfare for the rest of time. Buzz droid, my beloved. I'd say torpedoes and carrier ops. Mech fighter and bombers. Unless you have a Star Trek situation where you have directed energy weapons like phasers, where it's point and shoot. Then it's a game of who has the bigger power reactor. It'd probably be even more gay since we'll have rods of gods all aimed at each other, and any war comes with the threat of instant exterminatus, so everyone just edges at the idea of Space War 1, and we never get it. Kinda like World War 3 right now. Considering that with current and predictable tech, it still takes vast amounts of money to get every kilo into orbit, and that the only parts of space worth fighting in are explicitly Earth's orbital area, and the satellites you'll find there. Space warfare is going to be limited entirely to ASAT weapons, most likely high-altitude launched missiles, until technology moves so far past what we have today that our attempts to predict what effect it'll have on combat become ridiculous. They will be more like naval battles over huge distances than fighter battles. Space fighter is a trope born out of applying World War II to space, but space does not follow the same rules. To justify a realistic single-crew minimal combat ship, you need to create a custom setting and play with the definition. In a vacuum, nothing slows down projectiles. You don't need a fighter to move/drop a missile closer, nor shoot a railgun projectile. You only get good range out of nuclear propulsion, which would be for big spaceships. Stealth in space is impossible. Decoys are impossible. False flags are impossible. It's also going to be impossible to dodge any proper weapon, even if you had the propellant. You only need manned spaceships so humans stay in the loop of the AI doing the work better. Finally, space debris make any battle in busy orbits genocidal by nature. Today we don't have enough stuff to trigger a Kessler effect, but all those futuristic gigantic space stations would, filling orbits with anti-tank bullets for several decades to eternity. How do you think space warfare would be fought? Through economy. Faction A outperforms Faction B, takes the best spots on the moon, ignores Mars, it's useless. Outproduce everybody. Use soft power to become the new standard for technology. Eventually, Faction B either ends up dependent on Faction A or a non-issue like North Korea. Meanwhile, Faction A becomes 100% self-sufficient in every domain, and the faction representing mankind, able to build wasteful megastructures just to show off. Even if Faction B threaten to shoot nukes if they aren't given equal opportunities, They would only reveal their weaknesses and be sabotaged in billions of other ways. Faction B will have a better chance of fighting ideological warfare from the inside.